I love my job, and I remind myself of that every day.
Brad Opheim's job is to help families when they need help the most.
To build a casket for their loved one, it's a special honor.
Brad builds caskets and urns from blue pine.
Well, blue pine used to be throwaway lumber. It's just, it was almost worthless. I just thought it was beautiful.
The wood's mix of color gives his work a unique look.
Everyone is different. Everyone is individually built.
He likes that its wood is harvested and milled in Montana. He's a Montana man. Brad Opheim was born in Opheim, the town named after his great-grandfather.
Yeah, Opheim, Montana is north of Glasgow. It's up near the Canadian border. Went to school up there till I was 9, I think, and then we moved to Sun River, Montana.
Brad's lived and worked in the Sun River Valley ever since. He started working with wood when he was a kid.
Started at the age of 10, I think. With my brothers, we'd go on the weekends and help my dad build houses, and so that's where I kind of got my start in the carpentry end of it.
He'd continue to perfect those carpentry skills.
I was always a finished carpenter in my profession. I always hung doors and did trim work, and it kind of led into cabinetry.
So what led him to building caskets?
A little over 20 years ago, my brother came to me. He had just lost his son, my nephew, in a car accident.
His brother Mitch asked Brad if he would build his boy's casket.
So I says, yes, I'll build one out of blue pine.
Justin Opheim was only 19.
That was a tough one. It's especially when you're building it, you think back about the memories of your nephew and all the good times you had with him and his personality and such. When you're building a casket for someone you know.
He's been building caskets ever since. He saw a need.
People in the valley here, Sun River Valley, that know me, I've built a lot of their caskets.
The first urn Brad built was for his dad.
Well, I built it big enough for two because Mom wants to have her ashes with him.
He built caskets for his father-in-law and his mother-in-law. Virgie Nielsen wanted a casket lined with a pink quilt she had made.
The wood that I used had a lot of pinks and oranges in it, and it just, once it was lined with that beautiful quilt of hers, it was perfect.
The week before he died, Brad's old Little League coach came to his wood shop.
He heard that I was making caskets, and he wanted me to build his. Some people know when it's time, I guess. Just knowing that was my old coach that I really admired and loved. What an honor it was.
He's made urns like this one for people who like books. He makes pet urns too. The carpenter plans every urn and casket.
A well-built casket is something that takes time.
Because he's so selective, Brad needs a lot of lumber. Each piece must have similar characteristics to complement the final product.
I like to blend these pieces of wood. There's two pieces of wood here, but most people can't tell that when I get done with it. So I picked wood that matches.
He says families appreciate Montana trees and the mill they came from.
Families say, my dad was a logger. He may have cut that tree down, and it's very touching when I hear that. Or my dad worked at the mill.
Before he begins, he likes to talk to the families to learn more about the person who's passed.
So you can ponder these things while you're building his casket for them. And I think people sharing that information, it gives them a sense of relief also. It's a love that I've enjoyed for many years, and I hope to do it until the day I die.
This master carpenter sees it as helping people on their next step in their journey through life. Kevin Mackey, NBC Montana.